This section is titled Line Graphs. Line graphs are nice to use. They show us lots of things, but most importantly, they show how data changes over time. Shows how data changes over time. So over a length of time, how much does something change? Zoom out. Okay, so time on a graph is always going to be on what we call our x-axis. You guys remember what the x-axis is?
No.
It's the bottom one. So if you look on your paper where it says positive trend, negative trend, no trend, those are the x-axis.
Mr. last year actually taught us that x-axis is horizontal
Yes.
and y is vertical.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing she
Okay.
knew about math.
Yeah.
So then we have this thing called a trend, okay, where data trends to do something, or you could use the word tend, but trend is the word we use for this. It's a clear direction in a graph. And why is it important to notice a trend in something? Well, it's because it helps us predict what will happen. So we have three types of trends that you're going to be using. Positive trend, negative trend, and no trend. So for our line graphs here, when you think about a positive trend, it's going to generally get greater as it goes from left to right. So if it would start down here, it would go, and it might do something like this, right? That line is generally going up as you go to the right. That's what we call a positive trend. So if these were all your data points here, and you played connect the dots with them, you would say that data is trending which way?
Up.
Up. It's a positive trend. Negative trend would be the opposite here. It doesn't mean that you won't have some things that go up a little bit in there. So if these were some of your data points, you can have some up, but it's mostly going down as it goes to the right. And last we have like a no trend, and that could be more not random data, but as time goes on, it might do something like this. You would say there's really not a positive or negative trend in that. It doesn't have to be completely squiggly. You could have a big up and then a big down, or it could be almost flat across. So we're going to make a graph here. Oh, sorry. That blue is really hard to read on that screen, isn't it?
No.
On that one back there, I think it is.
No.
Maybe it's because I'm so far away.
Help us, because it is hard to read.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe I need glasses.
Maybe I like to
It's hard for me to read too. I don't need.
Okay, you good? Okay. All right. So we've got all this data. So let's think about it. What's heading here, year, attendance, or goals, represents time? Which one represents time? Year, attendance, or goals? Year does. It's a measurement of time. So the lowest year we have is 1962. So we'll put 1962 down here. I'm just going to write 62. And they go up evenly every time. You notice that? 62 to 66, 70, 74. They're going up by 4s.
Yeah.
So my farthest one here is 94. 1994. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why does it say page 1 when it's page 9?
So the middle one there on this list is, I think, 78. Am I right?
Sure. Yeah. Yes. Wait.
I'm already confused.
So I'm taking these years right here.
Yeah.
So I did 1962, 1978, 1994. And I got to fit 3 lines in between here now.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get even spacing. 66. Oh, did I goof that up? I did. See, this is why I use pencil.
In your case, erase your weird pen thing.
– 66, 70, 74, 82, 86, 90. So now I've put every year on there. This is going to actually be a double line graph, which is, yes.
I want to go to my mom.
What's your biggest number in the next 2 columns? The biggest number.
2.7.
3.7. So what should we round that to make life easier? 4.
Where's 3.7?
3.7 is right here.
I'm already confused.
So 4.
Oh.
Wait, what?
4 is, it's a nice even number, easy to break apart.
Okay.
Right? I can break 4 in half and get
2.
2. So I put a line halfway. And then halfway between that I've got 3.
I thought line posters random school food lines that make no sense. Yeah, this is very confusing.
Okay, so picking up where we left off, I think. So 3.7 is our biggest number. So I used 4 because 4 is a lot easier to divide than 3.7. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And I divided, so now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on my y-axis. And notice I was looking, when I looked at 3.7, I was looking at the attendance in millions and the goals per game, because if one of these was bigger than 3.7, then my y-axis would have to be taller. Because I'm making a double line graph here. Okay? So the year, down here, I've got all the years along here. Because I need all the years. All right? So, and I abbreviated them 62, and then it's every 4, 66, 70, 74. So you don't need to write like 63, 64, 65 there because there isn't data for those. It's only every 4 years. So we're tracking where we're at now. Kind of picked up where we were kind of there. So then I would, and if I was doing this, I would use probably 2 different colors so I could represent things. So this is probably the one time on your homework that using like a pen is probably okay to do the graph with, because I want to know which one's attendance and which one's goals. So I'm going to pick red here for my attendance. So I go, in 1962 it was 0.8. So that's almost a 1, right?
Yeah.
So I would put a dot here for 0.8. And then in 1966, so I go over to 66, I've got to go up to 1.6. So just a little bit more than halfway between the 1 and the 2. And then in 1970, 1.7. So it's got to be a little bit bigger than that one yet. See what I'm doing there? And you'd keep going. You do all of those. So let's see, back down here. And in 82 is back up to 1.8.
Oh, were we supposed to do in front of the... They're supposed to do right directly on top, bottom.
So, all right. So here's my numbers. 0.7, 0.8 in 1962 is this first dot right here.
Are we doing attendance or goals?
Well, I'm doing attendance first.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Yeah.
So it was supposed to be exactly over top of the number.
Yeah, so like 1986 up to 2.4 or 2.4. Well, now you can do it, right?
Now do we do the other one?
And then 2.5 for the next. Whoa, that was neat.
Oh, wow. Do we do per game?
Yeah, you can do per game in there. And then all the way up to 3.7. So then this is where I would think about this and go, all right, since we're in line graphs, 1.5, I should probably connect my dots with lines. Right? It's really, the section title really helps in what we did in the notes. Like, oh, we're making all line graphs, so all the answers for this should be. And I know my lines aren't perfectly straight, and that which means they're not actually lines. But in real life, this is real life. In actuality, if I was going to make one of these, I would probably either grab a ruler or a straight edge of some sort, so I could make nice straight lines instead of my shaky hand crooked lines. Okay. So that would be the attendance one. I'm not going to do all the we'll do all the goals per game.
Do we do the other one?
Yeah, I'd do the other one in a minute. It won't take us that long.
And then connect the lines?
And connect the dots again.
Or we won't?
Because we're making a line graph, that's why we connect the dots. And you want to label things, like the blue here is goals, and the red is attendance, so that you know which one's which. So then we can compare things. We could say, oh, as we got more people here, oh look, they actually scored more goals a lot of times when they had more people. Or as the number of goals dropped, right? Did anything happen to attendance? I don't know, maybe nothing happened. Maybe they just are independent of each other. Okay? But that's how you can see two types of things, a double line graph, or just, technically it's just called a line graph, but there's two lines on this one, because we have two sets of data.